This is episode 62 of The Way of Jesus, and is being recorded for the February 2026 broadcast. At the end of the Antichrist's 7-year peace covenant, he will summon the kings of the whole world together at Armageddon for battle against Jerusalem. Here is how Revelation describes this event. And I saw issuing from the mouth of the dragon, and from the mouth of the beast, and from the mouth of the false prophet, 3 foul spirits like frogs, for they are demonic spirits, performing signs, who go abroad to the kings of the whole world to assemble them for battle on the great day of God the Almighty. And they assemble them at the place which is called in Hebrew Armageddon. Revelation 16, 13, 14, and 16. Armageddon is located in northern Israel, 11 miles south of Nazareth. The word Armageddon is the Greek form of the Hebrew Har Megiddo, which means mount or hill, Har, of Megiddo. Megiddo is the site of a small town that has existed since ancient times. The forces that come against Israel will assemble on the plain of Esdraelon, which lies at the foot of Megiddo and occupies about 200 square miles. This plain is also known as the Plain of Jezreel and the Valley of Megiddo. In the popular mind, Armageddon signifies the location of the final battle between the Antichrist and the forces of God arrayed against him. However, this is not the case. Revelation only states that the kings of the whole world are to be assembled at Armageddon. The final battle will occur at Jerusalem, which is 55 miles south of Armageddon. After their assembly at Armageddon, the nations will march south to Jerusalem. Here is how Joel describes this event. Like blackness, there is spread upon the mountains a great and powerful people. Their like has never been from old, nor will be again after them through the years of all generations. Fire devours before them, and behind them a flame burns. The land is like a garden of Eden before them, but after them a desolate wilderness, and nothing escapes them. Before them people are in anguish, all faces grow pale. Like warriors they charge, like soldiers they scale the wall. They do not jostle one another, each marches in his path. They burst through the weapons and are not halted. Joel 2, 2, 3, 6, and 8. The nations that come against Jerusalem are initially successful. Joel describes this scene as follows. They leap upon the city. They run upon the walls. They climb up into the houses. They enter through the windows like a thief. Joel 2:9. Zechariah is more explicit. He describes the invasion in this way. For I will gather all the nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses plundered, and the women ravished. Half the city shall go into exile, but the rest of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Zechariah 14:2. However, this initial success does not last. Zechariah warns the nations. Lo, I am about to make Jerusalem a cup of reeling to all peoples round about. On that day I will make Jerusalem a heavy stone for all the peoples. All who lift it shall grievously hurt themselves. Zechariah 12:2 2 and 3. The nations that come against Jerusalem gather at the valley of Jehoshaphat. This is revealed in Joel, which states, I will gather all the nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Joel 3:2. This valley is known in modern times as the Kidron Valley. It borders Jerusalem on its eastern side and lies between the city and the Mount of Olives. The overcoming of Jerusalem by the nations will trigger the day of the Lord, when God will enter earthly affairs to punish and defeat the forces allied against Jerusalem. Here is how Zephaniah describes this time. The great day of the Lord is near, near and hastening fast. The sound of the day of the Lord is bitter. The mighty man cries aloud there. A day of wrath is that day, a day of distress and anguish, a day of ruin and devastation, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and thick darkness. I will bring distress on men, so that they shall walk like the blind, because they have sinned against the Lord. Their blood shall be poured out like dust, and their flesh like dung. Zephaniah 1:14, 15, and 17. All the nations that come against Jerusalem and assemble at the valley of Jehoshaphat will face judgment and destruction. The following is how Joel characterizes this event. I will gather all the nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will enter into judgment with them there on account of my people and my heritage, Israel. Let the nations bestir themselves and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there I will sit to judge all the nations round about. Put in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Go in, tread, for the winepress is full. The vats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Joel 3:2, 12, 13, and 14. God brings a great plague and panic on the nations that come against Jerusalem. Zechariah describes this event as follows. And this shall be the plague with which the Lord will smite all the peoples that wage war against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall rot while they are still on their feet. Their eyes shall rot in their sockets. Their tongues shall rot in their mouths. And on that day a great panic from the Lord shall fall on them, so that each will lay hold on the hand of his fellows, and the hand of the one will be raised against the hand of the other. Zechariah 14:12 and 13. This concludes episode 62. Episode 63 will complete the story of the destruction of the Antichrist and his forces and introduce the Jewish deliverer. If you like this podcast, please hit the like button, subscribe to ensure you get future broadcasts, and share it with your friends. I have recently published a new book entitled, I Am a Son of God. Here's what one reviewer had to say. I highly recommend this little volume if you are looking for plain-spoken truth about the meaning of being and living as a child of God. It is an easy read and explains clearly the steps one can take to adopt the teachings of Jesus in one's personal life. This book is available from Amazon.com. Thank you for watching and listening. Until next time, may God guide and comfort you and bring you peace.